You guys, we're going to continue our discussion on locating asymptotes. So we've already discussed previously how to find vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes are found by setting the denominator equal to 0 and solving for x. We've also discussed how to find horizontal asymptotes. So remember, you have two cases when you're finding horizontal asymptotes. The first case is if the numerator has a smaller degree than the denominator, then you're automatically going to have a horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. And we also discussed case 2 if you have a horizontal asymptote, and that happens when your degrees in both the numerator and the denominator are the same, and then you will have a horizontal asymptote at the ratio of the leading coefficients. Okay, so that leads us to our last type of asymptote that we could have, which is an oblique asymptote. So depending on what book or resource you're looking at, sometimes oblique asymptotes are called slant asymptotes. So different name for the same type of asymptote. So just be aware. So you will have an oblique asymptote anytime the degree in your numerator is exactly 1 higher than the degree in the denominator. So what that would look like if I had a function that was like r of x equals x cubed 2x squared plus 6 over something like x squared plus 5. The degree in my numerator is 3, and the degree in my denominator is 2. The degree in my numerator is 1 larger than the degree that's in the bottom. So in this case, I would have an oblique asymptote, which I abbreviate as OA, and the way that you would find it, you would use long division. So we've talked about long division in the past. So remember, you would line up your polynomials, do long division, okay? Remember, the way that this is set up is that the divisor is on the outside, the dividend is on the inside, the quotient is your answer that becomes on the top, and your remainder is what you're left with at the bottom. So when you do long division, where your oblique asymptote is going to be is wherever your quotient is. You don't care anything about the remainder, you can discard it, but your oblique asymptote will be y equals whatever the quotient is. Okay, so probably of the 3 asymptotes, probably oblique asymptote you guys are not going to like as much because you have to do long division. Okay, so there's something else that I want you guys to make sure you remind yourselves when you're finding asymptotes, is that more than likely your graph is going to have a vertical, so you can always go ahead and find that first. Your graph is either going to have a horizontal or an oblique asymptote, okay? It's not going to have both. It may not have any at all, but it's definitely not going to have a horizontal and an oblique on the same graph. So the way that I remember that is no hose. All right, so don't tell anybody I told you, but you will not have a horizontal and an oblique on the same graph. You can have a vertical and a horizontal, you can have a vertical and an oblique, but you're not going to have both a horizontal and an oblique on the same graph. So just remember, no hose, and you'll be good to go. All right.